What it is, y'all, it is your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back today with more Danmachi. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about Record Buster, but more importantly, I want to talk about one of the new equips that was recently added to the game. Yeah, I'm using it in Record Buster. Sounds insane, and it is a little bit, but it's really important to a good run, as it turns out. This is awesome. Now, initially when we saw this equip, we called it the Glass Cannon equip, and it kind of is. But I found out that it has an even better use than I suspected. Let's go talk about Winnie for a second, okay? So as you guys know, she's one of our favorite sacks when it comes to Record Busters that don't get rid of their debuffs, and that's mostly because whenever she does a debuff, she applies this really beautiful all-in-single target down 50%. So what we do, bring her in until she SAs, and then the goal is to get her to SA turn 3, turn 4, and then get out of here. Main reason for that, the longer she's on the team, the longer we're not getting the heals that Haruhime would give us. And I say that because the other three are damage units. The other three are really good damage units and are really holding their own and doing their thing. So, when it comes to this team, Haruhime is the only sacrificial unit that I can take off the team. Haruhime does negate some of the AoE attacks, so that means that absolute worst case scenario, if we go to turn 4, then the goal would be for Winnie to basically hit, I hate to say it, take the SA, die, and then let Haruhime come in. That's the whole point. So obviously, Hyacinthus in the front is going to have the Resolving Amulet, and then because we need her for 2 or 3 turns, you just got to make her weak. And the best way to do that is to take off whatever anklet or amulet you've got on there, keep her at a low level. Now, before I realized this is what she was good for, I had given her a couple of bonds. So, she's a little duped out. Not completely, but you can't take those away yet. That actually I think is going to be changing here in the spring. But, for now, if you've done what I've done, your options are kind of limited, right? Now, her HP ain't so great, but notice there's a big negative effect on there. That's because of this item right here. Normally, she'd be like 1,700 health. She's at 700 health. Why is that? Well, let's take a look at this item. Let me go to change equip. War Princess's Earcuff. So, says strength penetration rate and critical rate increases as the unit grows. But at the cost of, I have negative 70 HP. That's the big value I wanted on this. Because 70% of her HP is taken away, she does get a little bit of a harder hit, but that's not the main reason we're using this. The main reason we're using this to make her weak enough that she doesn't survive turn 3. Sounds terrible. I know. Doing it to this unit is really, really painful. Y'all give me flack for this every single time we do this. And it doesn't get easier. Especially if you're as tied to this character as a lot of us are. Like, this is the everyone's favorite child of the series. But in the stance of just coming at this from from Record Buster, it's a really valuable skill. But having her on the field is a liability. So, as I've said, 70% of her HP is gone. Now, this when you recraft this thing, let's actually do a crafting real quick. So if I go here to Rehammer, and I go to the attributes of this item, and I have to go down here. It is an ornament. That's a new line they've added. War Princess's Earcuff. Okay, so if I go to details, it'll tell you here's all the stats you can get. So effect, max HP 90%, blah, 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 blah. You can do 90, 80, 70, 60, or 50. Most of the time it'll be 50. 50 is about the stat you've got. I didn't want 90 only because I wasn't sure if she would survive basically turn 2 when she comes in. So 70 is where I kind of left it. 70 is what I got. Now it says growth steps, so basically as you level it up, you're going to get, some of these things here. Now I have not ascended the weapon. If I ascend the weapon, I'll get even more stats, but I'm not terribly worried about that because I really don't need those stats out of this weapon yet. Now, that's why we called it the Glass Cannon weapon, because you can basically turn a unit into a glass cannon, make them a bit stronger, but then at the cost of, they have to be healed, they have to be mended, they have to be taken care of. I'm sure that'll be handy shortly. As of right now, not as handy as what we're doing here. So let me kind of show you what I'm talking about. And I'm hoping Otaro kind of works with me here on this, because he has not been very cooperative today. I've not been able to get very good scores out of him. So let's go ahead and jump in and let's talk about this, because honestly, when we were doing this the other night, Winnie kept surviving to turns 5, 6, 7. I even had one where she survived till turn 8, and it took the SA on turn 8 to get rid of her. I hate to say that, but it's honestly true. The faster she goes, the better she's going to do for the team. Save for obviously going before she can get her SA, but neither here nor there. That is what it is. So turn 1 is going to be about buffing and debuffing everybody. It's really just about building our stacks. Now you will notice we take a ton of damage here. Basically on this turn, we're going to apply a bunch of debuffs. Why did Miko... And of course, Otaro's going to penetrate and get him ruin the whole run. Okay. This is going to be a... I am going to spend 10 free-to-play Iris for the sake of making this video. I'm going to earn it back. I know it, but it hurts. It's happening. Let's go. That is... He does get a lot of critical and penetration. I have not built critical and penetration resistance into my team. Instead, I'm working off RNG, which, as you noticed, probably isn't the wisest maneuver. But let's try this again. Buff stack. Hopefully, he attacks everybody evenly. Now, it'd be really nice if he'd wait until Ryu got her attack off, because Ryu's going to drop Strength and Magic down 45%. That'd be really nice. And on this turn, I have to do a little bit of manipulation, because I want to keep the 33% as a gauge charge here. And once Haruhime comes in, she's going to actually give everybody AoE resistance. That'd be super nice, but we don't have it built in yet. So we're going to go ahead and proceed. Now, I am going to give everyone HP regen. We need to have HP regen. That's one of the main things that Winnie's going to do on this turn. Here's the problem with doing that, though. Number one, she's going to get HP regen, which means... Can I do this? Do you mind? You're being difficult. Third time lucky. Am I right? Third time lucky. Hey, we already spent 10 Iris. Why not use all of our runs, right? Normally... This is the... if anybody ever wanted to become a content creator, be ready for this, because there's a lot of this in recording videos. I'm telling you guys, sometimes you get on to me for making one-shot videos. You didn't see the 8 previous takes, because Otaro kept getting crit and penetration. Neither here nor there. Third time lucky. Let's go. Alright. So, I don't mind if he takes his aggression on Hyokinthos. That is fine with me. I just don't want him taking his aggression out on Ryu. I really, 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 really wish you were a little faster. Anyway. Alright. So now Riveria and Mikoto are both in the danger zone. But that's fine. We'll go ahead and do this one more time. Now he's been negated 45% of his attack damage. Let's go back in here, and let's go ahead and do the HP regen. Okay? This will be 30% HP regen per turn. As I was saying before, assuming Ryu and Mikoto, or say Ryu, Riveria and Mikoto survived this turn, which... Yes, that's what I wanted. Perfect. Thank you. But you will notice that Winnie gets the, she gets the HP regen. That is bad for business. She's got to go. So everything I could do to make her weak enough that she kind of, you know, leaves this turn or next turn. I'd be fine if she leaves next turn. Either one of those is good for me. Main thing is, it doesn't really matter if she leaves this turn or next, because if she comes in next turn, I've got to give Haruhime her 33% SAH charge all over again, where Winnie's already going to have it. It really... It's a null turn, really, no matter what no matter how you look at it with this team. So, but neither here nor there. Winnie now, because of that 1,000 HP that she's lacking, should not survive turn 4. I've not seen her survive turn 4 yet. Hate to say that, feels horrible, but it is nice for business, as I said. So we're going to SA with her, and then her usefulness is pretty much expired. After this, is literally just getting what we can out. Now, we're going to do skill 2 with Riveria. We're going to need to do skill 2 here with her, which means I cannot do skill 3 with Ryu. I got to do skill 2 with Ryu again, but that's fine. Let's go. Let's go. Now, everybody's got what they need out of her. They got their HP regen, which was the number 2 thing I needed her for, and this is the number 1 thing I needed her for. So, and this is not really going to be a big hit. Like I said, it's, what, 39,000 or something like that. It is what it is. Alright. Now, this is perfect. Sort of. Haruhime's here, which means we're going to get some counter healing, which is going to be super nice. Also, Haruhime is going to give everyone AoE resistance, which is super nice. Once again, this is an excellent run, because that means that while it is kind of a null turn, it also does mean the main thing I forgot is that Haruhime giving everyone the AoE resistance on top of the 45% strength and magic reduction. This is going to make sure that we're basically not taking excess damage. We're going into turn 5 with as much as humanly possible. So now everybody's going to do their big hit on this turn, and that's pretty much that. That is the usefulness of winning. Now I'm just going to continue this run and just kind of talk. We're turning it just a record buster run now to kind of show you like the disparity and the difference that this makes in the long run. Because once again, if Winnie was here, you know, if by using her, we're just going to get more and more and more and more damage out of our units. Basically, is the long and the short of it. But by not having her here, we get our counter heals, we get our AoE reductions, we get all that stuff, which would be really nice. Now, I'll need to go in and do that again with Haruhime. You will notice the skill flow is set, but as you would probably suspect, the skill flow was kind of prepared on a weird run. So I'm going to have to do some manipulation of the skill flow. That is the one downside to this. If you want to call it a downside, you kind of can't like auto-run these things. If you do, you're going to be in a weird spot. So, because once again, if Winnie survives to turn 5, then your whole auto-run is just kind of, you know, it is kind of not a thing. Alright, so let's see. What do our debuffs look like? Alright, so our 1 unit resistance and our wind resistance are pretty far down there. So we need to make sure that we rebuff those. Alright, so let's do that. So we're going to need to do Blowing Wind here. And these two don't necessarily need to do their skills. Yeah, they'll be fine. The really nice part is here, using Mikoto, is that she replicates, debuffs. So basically she adds an extra turn to debuffs. So will Haruhime, which will be really nice. In fact, actually, since she does that, I don't necessarily need to do that. I can do skill 1 with Haruhime here. And I can continue doing this, because while that is going to take it down 1 turn, well, no. You know, I'm going to make a creative decision. I'm going to do that. Only because we really need the counter and penetration rate buff. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that because that will take away 1 of the turns. In theory, we shouldn't be too bad off, but I don't want to risk it. You know what I mean? We've got a good enough run going here. The 1 turn isn't going to make enough of a difference in the overall. So hopefully we should have, leave this basically with 2 turns left on this debuff. That'd be really nice. So let's go. Yep, skill 1, skill 3, skill 2 for Ryu. Alright. And once again, we did all this work to make sure that that 1 unit resistance would stay in play. If we lose it, we are really, really, really failing ourselves hard. So, let's see what we got now. So that's up to 2 turns. So technically I could have used Ryu's attack on that turn. I just really didn't want to risk it. So we're going to do that, and then, of course, Haruhime is going to do skill 3. And that skill 3 is going to, like, double replicate. So whereas we ended with an extra turn this time, we're going to end with an extra turn on the 1 unit resistance. Because, once again, Ryu uses one of those when she does her skill 3. So this will go up to turn 3 now, whereas normally it would just be kind of nullified by having 1 replicate and then, Ryu's attack. So this would normally like stay here if I didn't have 2 units doing replication. So there we go. And let's go. Let's go. Now, I'm not saying this is the best run. I'm not going to sit here and like, you know, toot my horn that I've got the best score out there. But this is the run that I've chosen to go with. And I hate to admit it, because difficulty 7 is so rugged, admittedly, I've not had all 4 units survive to the end. Hate to admit that. It is a thing. It is reality. Sometimes you have to accept those things. All right, let's go. I remember, Mikoto's extra action is going to remove his strength and magic buff so long as it happens after he buffs himself. So that's going to be super nice. But take that back. Actually, Otaro doesn't buff. He doesn't buff strength and magic. That's everyone else that I'm thinking of. Otaro just hits like a truck out of the gate. So I keep forgetting about that fact. It's so used to the other units. We don't see Otaro as often as we used to. So, little learning curve there. Or relearning curve, I guess, for lack of a better way to put it. Cool. So all our buffs are gone. Our debuffs still looking good. That 1 unit resistance, that's the one we're mostly concerned about now. We got to keep that in play. So everybody else is just going to do their skill 1 for buff. Or Hime's going to do skill 2. Let's go. So we're going to keep an eye on that skill. Oof. That was a big hit. Please, Ryu. I keep calling Riveria Ryu. Riveria. Please don't leave us. That would be bad. All right. I'm going to go ahead and do a triple SA on this turn. Main reason I'm going to do that, number 1, we're going to run out of space here shortly. We're going to basically have, if I go 1 more turn like this, I'm going to be wasting an SA gauge. So I need to do it on this turn. Number 2, we don't have any stats to remove on turn 12. So it really doesn't matter. And all our debuffs are already in play. Plus, exception of water buff itself, which everyone should already have. Nobody on this team gets a water buff from skill 2 anyway. So yeah, we should have our water buffs if we have them. With the exception, actually, I take the back of Riveria. Oh, but she gets magic on that turn. No, so she's good. So yeah. Haruhime is going to give everybody 120% strength and magic. They were all magic units. There we go. Everybody's got their water skill. Let's have at it. Now, the reason I'm not SAing with Ryu is because her skill 3 is beefy enough. She will be fine. Really, really, really hope that Riveria survives this, though. And no, there are those people asking, the offset 3.6, nice. The offset of doing a quad, the extra damage from doing a quad, 5 mil. Jiminy Christmas, girl. The offset of doing a quad isn't going to be enough to basically justify having Ryu do her thing. Haruhime, why did you not? That's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about. She did not counter. I didn't give her a counter buff, to be fair, but not getting that counter is going to cost me score-wise. Girl, you all kinds of wrong. Anyway, that's pretty much the run. That's going to blow everything out of proportion here. So, you can do skill 1, do skill 3 with these two. 1 unit resistance is down to 3. We'll be fine there. It'll probably still be down to 3 at the end of this turn. But now that we only have 3 targets, it's merely a matter of time before Otaro wipes everybody out. Having 4 targets, basically, it's like safety in numbers type of thing. Like, he's not going to single one person out. Now he's going to start singling people out. It's simply the way the numbers work. So, yeah, we'll just do an essay with Mikoto every time she gets the opportunity. 1 unit resistance is still at 3 turns, so we're good there. Let's go. Man, I really, really, really wish we still had Riveria. She is so necessary. Haruhime not getting that counter is just a shot in the leg, man. Whatever. Let's see what kind of numbers we get out of him anyway. Assuming that Ryu's probably dead on this turn. Mikoto, what? She had the most health. Anyway, if you guys are wondering, yeah, difficulty 7 is an absolute monster. just unbearable sometimes. Haruhime girl, what am I going to do with you? What am I going to do with you? Now she counters. Now she counters. If you'd done this earlier, we'd have gotten a much nicer score. I hate that this is my high score. Anyway, guys. I've got a little bit more work to do before cutoff tonight. We have about 3.5 hours as of recording this. But for now, that is going to be my video. Let me know what you guys thought in the comment section down below. Like, comment, share, all that good stuff. And I'll be back with more Danmachi for you guys really, really soon. You're not going to have to talk before that video. You know that, right?